Hello, everyone. Hi. Wow.
Hello, hello.
Wow. Well, congrats to your first. We're not doing redeems today for the most part. So you get that. Do you want the usual? Also, hi, Kotsonia. Hi, Eckhart. Glad you have us to listen to while you're Christmas shopping.
Yes, welcome.
Wow.
Greetings.
Hello, Gillian. Yeah. Their pets in where they can. Yes, okay. Yeah. Welcome to today's offering for us, which is the look back at the year of tabletop games and at the show in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Waggles. I might have said this before, but I am super convinced that you would be a great role player, and I would, if you ever feel up to it, be very happy to have you in a game of mine. Because you seem like you have a good head on your shoulders in regards to those things. Yeah, that's your compliment. Yeah, what we doing today, Drake?
We are looking back
Wow.
upon 2 years and some change of tabletop talk as well as the last year. And we're talking about the current state of the gaming industry, especially centered on Wizards of the Coast.
Oh yeah.
And what a cesspool that is. I was tempted to tell you to do the red letter media meme of like calling it like re:"view.
Oh no.
But nah.
Too late. You needed to tell me that earlier.
Nah, I didn't. That would make more sense later for next year when we're going to be re-reviewing a few things. Then we can call it that because then it does make sense because we are literally reviewing things.
Let me see something. Can I have another notepad? No, I cannot. It's annoying. Sadly, okay. Whoa, no, thank you for the rates.
Welcome, Raiders. Welcome.
Everyone's getting bombed. Compliment, of course. Sanat, I thank you for being a great mod and always thinking of me and of Drake. You're a good friend and a good confidant.
No matter your choice of meat that you want to consume.
Yes, you also have a knack for getting a rise out of me in a fun way, and that's good. Also, last but not least, can you please turn my redeems off? I did not have time to do it beforehand. Thank you. Yeah, I guess we can just dive right into it, eh?
Yeah, honestly. Start out with the news.
Yeah.
Before we get into the nitty gritty.
Let's start off with the news that the Grinch has taken over Hasbro, apparently. Like firing 1,100 people 2 weeks before Christmas in the fucking toy company. Like, regardless of, like, I'm not even talking about the D&D team yet. I'm just talking about, like, that move. Like, what the fuck?
And for context, and I did the math, it's technically a total of 1,900 this year altogether. They had 6,900 employees as of the end of year last year. They laid off 1,900, so they laid off 28% of their workforce this year.
It's a very sustainable pace they are going at. Like, they can do that like 2 more times, and then there's no one there.
Yeah, they keep saying, "Oh, but Watsu's doing so well." Oh no,
yeah,
apparently not.
We don't have a thing up right now. We're just talking. Do we want, like, I mean, we can bring up an article, I guess. Let me do that real quick.
Where is that article? Like, there's that Yen World thread.
There's one that says 1,100 employees, which is just this layoff, but they did another layoff earlier in the year, which is what Drake means.
Yeah, 800,
No.
Earlier.
That's it. Like, again, we're not talking yet at all about this in D&D terms. We will soon, but...
There we go.
Great move, guys. Great move. It's a cool idea to do that in literally mid-December.
Mm-hmm.
I assume part of this is like them wanting to, obviously like make the books look better. And also they're gonna probably rehire people at worse contracts or something like that. That's always what companies do.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, like you would have to promote some of these people, so let them go, kind of thing. Yes, like I'm sorry, but if a company does this, I'm very inclined to just say, I don't buy from them. Just don't buy from them ever again. Like, fuck this. This behavior is unacceptable. Like, especially like our generation and even younger than that should not give these people any more money.
No.
Ever again. They may die now. That is my honest opinion.
Because they have done a lot of bad stuff, like not even getting into the weird Magic the Gathering stuff where they have notably hired people repeatedly to administer Magic the Gathering tournaments that should not be around children. They've done that repeatedly in the past, and that's old news. But they continue to do horrible things, and it just doesn't stop. And that's like the big part with Hasbro overall. I mean, it's the company that does Monopoly, for crying out loud.
Yep.
Not Monopoly how it originally was supposed to be either.
No, that's its own story, which I'm not getting into here.
No.
But yeah, like, okay, now to put this into D&D terms, because, well, Wizards is a subsidiary. So they fired, like, at least, like, I don't know, a dozen people or something of the D&D core team. Give or take, like, the exact numbers, I don't know.
Yep.
And interestingly, one tidbit that came out of this is that the maker of the Larian Studio head said, oh yeah, everyone we made the decision with to make Baldur's Gate 3, they're no longer there. Like everyone who was in that meeting room that day when they gave us carte blanche to make our game, they're gone. Like, you're also, so not only did you fire like your core people, some of them, to be clear, some of them were kind of problematic people, but I'm not gonna go there right this second. But you fired like your core decision makers for years and years. You also fired the people who gave you the best PR you could have asked for this year for your fucking product.
Yes.
Like if anything saved their bacon this year in terms of being seen not as a vile cesspool of shit. And I must say it like that after the things that they did earlier in the year. Was Baldur's Gate 3 making everyone like, oh, it's cool to roll a d20 and then a demon explodes because I did a thing. And like so many gamers who never played D&D tabletop are gonna be D&D pilled after that game.
Yeah,
because it's
heavily.
Just, like it's just cool to so many people to be like, oh, so if I get all of these bonuses, I can make it a sure thing that my character does a cool thing. That's nice. That's neat. I didn't know you could do that in D&D. All of that stuff. I forgot which company recently laid off took away every single employee's benefit when asked if they would decrease. They said they responded, we are that kind of company. Yeah, if you find out, just put them on the ban list and never buy from them again. Not that, I will say this, I don't believe that that kind of behavior, like the like boycotts, will fundamentally change the system we're dealing with. But you can still at no cost to yourself feel very good about handing it to some shitty people.
Because exactly.
Will you really miss buying Hasbro products? Yes, you might play Magic the Gathering. Okay, I don't know. But you don't have to give them money directly for that, do you? And you might play D&D still. You could play another game. It's very possible.
Yeah, there's a lot of other card games made by companies that don't want to like predatorily do things to your wallet. There's plenty of them out there. especially the limited run ones
Yeah.
that are just like, this is it, guys. Like, what you buy, you get those cards every time.
Yes. But then also, I mean, earlier in the year, January, off of the initiative of Hasbro, Wizards also did the OGL thing, which has ultimately been rolled back as it was clear it would be when it happened. Because it would have been the death knell of their game if they hadn't done that. But it's also another reason, like Hasbro is not worthy of this fucking product. They're not worthy of anything. That's just no.
And one of the things that was brought up continuously during the OGL thing was, yes, but the OGL just is timeless and will go on for... No, they're a billion-dollar company. They would be quite happy to sue the next guy down whenever they want and kick the ladder out. They would be quite happy to do that at any time. That's why it's bad. Like, end of day, them doing those bad things, they're telegraphing exactly what their next move would be for, oh, I don't know, Paizo or Kobold Press or Goodman Games. So that's why all these companies are just, okay, maybe we should circle the wagons and come up with our own things, which they are.
Yeah, and that's good. Like, we are seeing more and more of that as time goes on, obviously. Like, they couldn't immediately come out with stuff.
Yeah. Boy, they're sure trying to, though, which I really am really happy about, is the fact that they're trying, which, I don't know, maybe we're going to see the gaming renaissance that I want to see again, where suddenly we're trying all sorts of new things, which, honestly, we're in the process of that right now.
There's some things which I'm a little bit sad about. Mainly like stuff, for example, we have seen, thanks to Standard, like not on the show, but just in general, seen in Brand Colonia being a thing that exists, which is really cool. And it's kind of sad that game is shackled to D&D. But at the time it came out, I forgot what year they got the license, but it was like at the height of D&D popularity, so it made sense then to do it. I'm sure if they had the choice today, they wouldn't do it.
Oh yeah, it'd make a great setting to go with Fabula Ultima. Yeah,
you would have to make new classes that are kind of mid and shitty, which would be so good. Like, it's possible.
Is it so good?
Yeah. But yeah, like, that's just such an icing on the cake. Like, they don't deserve our time of day. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I really don't.
Crazy to find those companies not to buy from when they act cartoonishly evil. Yeah, exactly. Like, all of them ultimately want to do so. They want to act cartoonishly evil. But not all of them will do it because they're too smart. And like, there's a basic contract in society that should be followed, and they just aren't. Why?
Yeah, it was ignored every time. Like, we watched some of the 5th edition videos that have been a recent thing, and in almost all of them, I felt my soul leaving my body, because every single time I watched another WotC executive or somebody in the core team of D&D explain something, I was just kind of like, what? I can't do this, man. Like, you explaining this is just making me, like, hate it. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Because you're explaining it in such a way that's so corporate pilled, so flat-toned, etc. Raiders.
Thank you for the raid. Hi, Raiders. Wow.
Hello.
Hello. We're talking about tabletop games and about Hasbro being a shit company right now, and then we're going to do more stuff. Oh no, it's League of Legends on my channel. Ew. Nike.
Oh, that's great.
Sorry, I had to. Where was I? What was going on?
Oh, we're talking about Hasbro and the layoffs. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
what was it? Dan Dillon got laid off, and he was somebody from Kobold Press who left Kobold Press to join the G&D design team in 2019. So he
Mm.
was only there 4 years and he got laid off. Um, I keep mentioning Kobold Press because they are designing, or they have designed their own OGL, and they're moving forward to making their own products now instead of making 5th edition products now. Mike Murrells got laid off. And Murals had been moved to the Magic the Gathering team already. So.
Yep. Talk about Pathfinder. No, not yet. What did you want to talk about in terms of Pathfinder, Kara? We have not reviewed Pathfinder on the show, and it's not on any list that we are gonna make. I can tell you that. Curious what your thoughts are on PF2 after playing almost 20 sessions. It's too complicated, in my opinion.
Mm.
I have not been stingy with that view on the show either. Pathfinder 2e, the math works. That's the good thing about it.
Yeah,
but
it does work.
I am of the firm opinion that you don't need that math. This game is stuck in 3.5 brain still. It just made 3.5 actually good by removing most of the math problems that 3.5 very much had. 3.5 was the most unbalanced D&D ever.
Yes.
And they really did a good job in balancing it, but that just means that if I look at Barbarian on the internet for Pathfinder, I want to find a guide that's perfectly explains to me how I should build my character, because otherwise it's gonna fucking suck. And then I either follow that guide and maybe deviate a little bit to give it a little bit of flair, or I don't, and I make a character that's bad mechanically because the mechanics are that tight. Mm-hmm. And I don't really, I don't know. It's fun to play with everyone. The campaign is fun. But for me, it's still in spite of the game, not because of it.
Oh yeah.
I think we would do better in Fabula Ultima with the same exact plot and the same exact characters.
Honestly, yeah. There's a lot with Fabula Ultima that just like so much of it is based around the idea of, well, of course somebody's going to try to create the most broken character ever by combining these 5 classes together. And that's part of what makes it really good. Pathfinder, like, if I go and I search like Pathfinder multiclass, I immediately get videos on how multiclassing in Pathfinder is bad, and here's why, and that's why that's a good thing that it's bad. And I don't know. I'm just not into this on rails thing as much. The other thing is that like my biggest pet peeve is the racial feats. Mm-hmm. The reason why they're a pet peeve is when you pick dwarf, your iconic dwarf is not very dwarfy until you add a dwarf feat. But even then, let's take, I don't know, a flying race. Let's take Arakoa. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got wings. Cool. I'm going to be able to fly, right? Well, you might be able to glide for a minute a day to start. Yeah. And then by level 18 or 14, or I don't remember what the exact level is, sure, you can fly for an hour a day. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that is, yeah, they are so afraid to unbalance their own system that they made a race with wings not be able to fly. Which, okay, it's good to fly, but it's not that OP in the game. Like so many creatures can fly, and so often you're just in a building, and it doesn't even matter that you have wings and so forth. Hey, Froggy, welcome back. I'm very tepid on PF2, like most of the time. I forgot it's not 5e, and that's maybe the best selling point. Yeah. So of course, it's not being 5e is good. Absolutely.
It is,
but I think overall people are like, oh, I heard Pathfinder is the alternative to D&D, so I have to play that because I want the D&D experience. In my opinion, having done this show now for 2.5 years and knowing about many RPGs, there is just better experiences out there that give you the same stuff, because 90% of your fun in tabletop RPGs is going to come from the people you play with and the crazy shit they do. It's not going to be because you have +5 to charisma. on your character sheet.
Yep.
So the +5 charisma might as well be a level of chutzpah in Toon, and you might play Toon.
Yeah.
And it would take you like 10 minutes to make every single fight in Toon that you want to make, because the game is so easy.
Oh yeah.
And then you wouldn't have like things happen like, oh yeah, the encounter builder says this is winnable. Oh fuck, everyone is dead in one turn.
Yes.
Yes, and even for 5e, like it's minimalist until you're like, okay, I want to make 3 wizards as my main fight this evening.
Yes.
Let
That's the
me
best
crack
example.
open 3 different books to find 55 spells they have. And then look at all these monsters with their special abilities that I also want to put in the fight earlier. And then you're going to be there like for an hour at least, like doing busy work.
Yeah.
The
one edition of D&D I had the easiest time building encounters for was actually 4th edition. And that's just because that's what the entire game was bounced around, was encounter building. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
And that's bad. That's the only thing that was going for it. And to answer Weddle's statement about racial feats suddenly stapling a bunch of extra work to playing a custom race, that's the biggest problem with it, is like if I design a new class, suddenly I have to tack on everything to it. Oh, I'm a little loud? Okay.
Not for me, but I can turn track down slightly. No problem. Here we go.
There you go.
We have been very vocal all year after the incident with the OGL that we shouldn't play D&D anymore. So not playing it, playing Pathfinder, playing anything else is good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do think though that like, a lot of the time overly complicated mechanics stand in the way of the fun. They aren't conducive to it. So a game like Tribal Ultima, where I can be like, okay, my level 7 characters, level 5 rogue, level 2 weapon master, and I have these 7 abilities from that, and they work together like this to make a build that's interesting. Yay. And you have a level 3 elementalist, level 2 arcanist, level 1 I don't know, wayfarer. So you have a pet, and you have some spells, and you can summon a big guy that goes into your body, and then you become a fireman. Like that's works. It's that's what I want. Critical Role is so set up to take over this every fantasy scene. They just need to not fumble if they're true. If Critical Role drops a big bomb on this community, then a lot of people are just going to play that. Almost regardless of what it is, if it's not total shit, and I don't think it will be. Like they have,
won't be total shit. Yeah.
They have the chops to make it good.
Also to clarify, they're making 3 different ones right now.
Oh no, and only like literally only one of them has to be like a killer, and then the other 2 are probably going to be like niche games. Like they do like the horror over there sometimes, and horror games. Will never be top dog because not everyone wants to play that all the time. But I
actually looked at the D20 high fantasy system that they were working on. Like there was some information given from like a convention or something where they had like a playtest. Looks really good, like really evocative. So, you know. I don't have many more details beyond that. Like I only like saw a sheet or 2 and looked at them and went, "Oh, that looks cool," and that's about it. But looks like it could go somewhere. And the rules feel like, well, there's one that's a D12 system. That was the one that they showcased, and that one looked good. So, I guess the only mechanic I can explain from it is you roll 2d12. One is considered your hope die, and the other one is considered your I can't remember, doom die. If the hope die is higher, and you succeed at the check, you succeed winningly. But if you fail the check and your hope die is higher, then you fail, but with some sort of, I don't know, something good happens at the same time. And then the reverse happens if your doom die is higher. So it produces interesting results that aren't binary, which is what I keep saying needs to happen.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be fun once that happens. And yeah, their D20 system, I don't know anything about that one actually, but the horror system that they did, really good.
Oh my god. Okay, this is gonna dovetail nicely into what's Wizards even up to these days. Back before they were firing everybody for like the Grinch 2 weeks before Christmas. Well, did you know that the deck of many things, digital and physical bundle costs, is price reduced from 124 euros to 114 euros? Like if we ever wanted to get in on this shit at the ground floor, now is the time. Fuck you. Why is this shit cost 74 euro to buy the Glory of Giants PDF and book? 64 for keys from the Golden. Like, what are you talking about?
What the fuck am I even looking at? Like, seriously?
Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse. Like, do these people know that everybody has no money these days because it's a fucking recession? Like, and if you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you. My grocery bill is doubled.
I'm in similar straits, like grocery-wise. It's just no. What the fuck, Wizards?
Like, would you like to be in on the ground floor of like? Are you in that Venn diagram in the middle of on the one side it's D&D players, on the other side it's people who like tarot cards? Like I am in the middle to that diagram. Do you also have 120 bucks to spend? What?
Yes, they're still trying to write off of Critical Role as much as they can. Yeah.
Yes, of course they are, because they have nothing else.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, okay, maybe they have what's it called, the Penya Kid thing.
You want to bring up the D&D television thing?
Oh yeah, you talk about it, please.
Okay, I don't remember all the details since I only watched the video once that was talking about it. But basically, they have filmed multiple different tabletop experiences that were like fully edited. They brought celebrities on to play, etc. They had TV shows. They had all kinds of things that they were going to do that were going to be like web series and whatnot. And if you go and you try to go and find like these episodes, you can watch them because they sound exciting. You can't find them.
Oh, that stuff. Oh yeah. So yeah,
you can't find them at all.
I let you talk about it. Yeah, they spent a lot of money to make live play stuff. And I'm gonna try to find that stuff right now. Live D&D TV live play. Is it? Maybe it's on this website here. Who knows? But I'm gonna do that off screen. On my other browsers.
I'll respond to the 4 states of failure success thing. Yeah, that was one of the most important things that Pathfinder 2nd Edition did, was to focus on that, because that's super important. Most D20 systems, you have 2 states of failure and success, and then I got a crit. It isn't like recognizing crit as another possible state of failure, possible state of success. That's always annoyed me so much about most D20 games, honestly. And bringing that to that is so important, because almost every other system, like, a system where you can roll 11 successes to ask a maid to open a door for you, things like that. Being able to have this nebulous area where it's just like, oh, you succeeded so ridiculously well that something special is going to happen, or you succeeded or you failed so abysmally that something special happens. I like systems that are able to provide that. It's very narrative. It's very story-driven. It's very storytelling.
So I would love to show people what the fuck is going on with that, but it's literally not even findable.
Yeah, it's not findable.
Is there like D&D TV? Is that what it's called?
I don't remember what it was called. Like, they had specific names for the shows even already. Like, I think there were going to be like 5 different shows, and they don't exist. Like it was going to be like you click a link through D&D Beyond or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just doesn't exist. Like I would bring up something to show you, but it doesn't exist. Yeah, they were highly produced. They got all kinds of celebrities in to do live plays, and where is it? It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I can't remember how much they spent on that. Like
They produced it. They were like celebrities, like real celebrities playing the games. Like they made. They must have spent money on this, and not just a little bit.
Yeah, like they got Seth Green and then other people who worked on Robot Chicken for one of them.
At the very least, have an article here that talks about it.
There we go.
D&D streaming TV channel in the works will include classic cartoons and actual play. The classic cartoon is like 2 seasons of the D&D cartoon, maybe 1 season.
Yeah.
I don't think that's enough content, guys.
No.
Maybe you half-assed this idea. Debut in 2023? Oh, okay. Yeah. Next season of Walking Dead will take place in your... What? Oh, it's just they're just plugging something. Never mind. So what is known is that they produced the shows, they filmed them, and now you can't see them anywhere because they probably don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, they probably don't.
They spent a ton of money on that.
Yeah.
So good job, guys. Why did you have to do that? Well, because maybe no one wants to work with you anymore, like of the established channels.
Like
that's maybe why.
They were so badly wanting to do their own thing because, like, Critical Role, go watch the cartoon on Amazon now.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're competing with. They want to do something that's theirs, that is in-house, that they can control. And it's not happening, guys. It's like so many other people who have just been like, you know what? Let's franchise. Let's branch out. And the thing is that it's just like, yes, the D&D movie did so good this year. But you know what did better? Barbie. They want to be Barbie, but they're not going to be Barbie.
Yeah.
So
they're not.
You're just not. Period. Like, there's just no way. And this is the way that is. And they wanted, what is it? Mattel is going to be doing their Mattel Cinematic Universe now, their own MCU. And Hasbro's looking at that going, what's up that, buddy?
I mean, no one has failed in that in doing that after what's it called? Marvel. Nobody. Everybody else has had huge success with their extended universe.
I know, that Mummy movie, that was so great. It had so many spin-offs.
Like, by all means, the Barbie movie made a lot of money. Make another one for all I care.
But, go for it.
But if you think you're going to make like 50 of those and people are going to stay, I don't think you are very smart.
Yeah, I agree, Killian. They were clinging to the Marvel mold quite a bit. And it was the charisma of like the respective actors who managed to make me go, okay, I love this. Not anything else. Like, there were some pacing issues and so on. But they did a good job with what they did have. I especially liked the Red Wizard lady. She was fun. She was like one of my characters gone bad.
Yes, the D&D movie was really good. I agree with that too, of course.
I like the Ericoa a lot.
There's a lot to like in that movie, and it never gives you, like, literally, in my opinion, doesn't give you time to think about what you might not like. There's always something happening or something going on, and then just sweeps you up in the moment, and it's great. It's good entertainment. It feels like a good game of D&D should feel.
Yeah.
Well, not even D&D, a good game of like tabletop should feel.
I agree.
But yeah, they really just dropping the ball like over and over. I understand why people are getting fired, even though they shouldn't do that ever. But like, whoever was like, "Oh, let's make all these shows," did they just like leave and then not tell anybody where to find them? What the hell is happening?
Like, I don't know what to tell them. Like, there's All right, I'm going to make a comparison to something that's really, really seems like a tangent, but believe me, this is the right comparison to make here. It's like when people formed the Overwatch League. Oh, wait, people didn't do it. Blizzard did it.
Mm-hmm.
They did it before the game was even fucking released.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It is the corporation going, well, we need this one thing, so let's just make it happen.
Yeah.
And
We
when you
want
just say,
this.
let's make it happen, then it doesn't happen organically.
Exactly. We want this to be an esport. Doesn't work.
No, doesn't work.
Like you would watch Critical Role no matter what they played.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if we know that because they are no longer really doing D&D, or they're switching as much as possible, and people are still watching them. Why? Because the people are great together. They have good chemistry together, and watching them is fun, and they're coming up with fun characters. And if you like their twisty stories, then you're gonna be all in on that, no matter what the fuck they do.
Yep.
And you can't force that. You can't be like, but we are gonna buff Mercy 10%, so now she will be played in pick in whatever the fuck game mode we make. One cares. Like, you can't force people into your product, be it a game, be it something else. So, these attempts to like tie. That's the worst part. That Hasbro always thought, yeah, well, we have this product and we have a captive audience and we can just raise prices and do whatever we want with them.
Aw, like Mihifu, thank you.
I will watch Trick DM game of any words. Yeah, exactly. Like, exactly. Oh, thank you, by the way, Sling Players. The, like, the hobby isn't about the system you're playing. It isn't. Ooh. And the conflation of D&D is doing a disservice to the hobby.
Yeah.
The reason D&D was so successful for so long is that we all know it already. So getting a game going in D&D is a lot less buy-in than being like, hey, I have this cool new game. It's called Lancer, and there's mechs, you fight in them, and then you have, like, the character creation is a bit different. But here's an app that you can use, and then please read this book. That's a higher buy-in than being like, hey, we're playing D&D. Would you like to play? You talked about wanting to play like a paladin. You could play a paladin, and I have a cool god you could follow. Like, that's a different, lesser buy-in, and people are busy and they don't want to read the book. Understandably, which is why this show does it for them to at least tell them which books are good to read. And so you know what you're getting into. It's a known quantity, but they can't coast on that forever. People are getting sick of it. People have been getting sick of D&D for a long time. Like people like Drake and I, we have been not wanting to play more D&D for a long time. Like, other games are cool, but then the idea of, we're making a new campaign together. We want to play soon, right? Well, if we having to make like Lancer characters and make a world for that and so on and so forth, it's going to take time. So we might as well do another D&D game.
Yep.
No longer.
Yep, not doing that anymore.
Yep.
Basically, like, soon I will close the chapter on one leg of my current D&D campaign, and then when it comes back, it will be using a different system. Mm-hmm. I've said this many, many times before. Yes, D&D simplicity is great and wonderful, but like for an actual campaign, I'm fighting it every step of the way. The wizard example is like the one that breaks me every time. And also just making fights interesting. Just how they track speed and all this other stuff is just starting to get to me. Yeah. It really is. It's okay to be a little fiddly with it. It's okay to be a little bit like, okay, you make the extra 2 meters and then you punch them in the face. It's just D&D. It just relies so heavily on, no, your speed is 30 feet and that's the typical speed. And
and then you have games like Pathfinder where they're like, well, having one action, like, that's not interesting enough. Let's make it 3 actions. But then also every single thing you do is an action. Also, movement is no longer like just a thing you also can do. It's just an action. And then you just do tactical crap more, leading to what I've noticed in our play. casters never reposition because it's so much more better to cast more spell than to
Yeah.
move, and that leads to many issues that casters have.
Yep.
And meanwhile, fighters are all like, "Oh, how little move can I do before I hit someone again?" And that's all like, is that interesting? Like, is tactically interesting? Maybe. Is it really like what I'm there to be about? Like, what the game should be about? I don't think so.
No, like at the end of the day, it doesn't help me tell stories.
Yeah.
That's what my main focus is, because here we are, the GM who mainly did Shadowrun and the GM who mainly did Vampire, and at the end of the day, can Shadowrun be a good engine for creating good stories? Hell yes. Can the Vampire do the same? Hell yes. But D&D just keeps falling apart, especially in 5th edition, with just how can this system help me tell a story?
Yes.
Um, and that's at the end of the day, like, and I'm not even just talking like the GM story. I mean, like the personal story of your character. Do you sit down and like agonize over your background in 5e anymore? Well, when we first picked it up, sure, maybe a little bit, but now it's like,
Yeah.
nah, this is the thing that gives me the 2 skills.
Yes. Like at this point, anyone playing D&D for years is just like, okay, which subclass haven't I played yet?
Yeah.
And
Which,
then
oh,
to get back to this amazing page here, where we see all of the products.
oh,
Occurs to me that I need to stream to TuTrack
yeah, you could.
to show this on all its glory, that you can see what's actually on the screen without looking at the stream. What was I saying? So they're gonna come out next year with their anniversary edition, right? And I've already pointed this out a few times, but I'm doing it again because it's such a stupid thing to say. They were like, between the 3 core books, which Monster Manual, DM Guide, and Player's Guide, we're gonna have nearly 1,000 pages of content there, which is the exact same amount of pages they already have in the current iteration.
Yep.
So,
I.
so what's gonna be new about it, guys? You have to put all the rules in. Because someone buys this book as their first book, they're gonna need the rules. You're gonna have to put all the spells in. Maybe you're putting actually all of the spells in. Who knows? You're gonna have to put the classes in, and apparently there's gonna be some new subclasses, which are probably get champion out of there, and maybe make weapon master fighter good or something.
Oh no. Champion is going to stay because it had 84% popularity.
Do we know that? Satisfaction, you mean? Satisfaction. That was
No,
like,
no, that was popularity. Satisfaction is another poll.
oh great. Do you? Yeah, that's like we jest here, but that was legitimately their selling point about it. The classes we put into this new book had at least a 70% satisfaction rating with the test or with the testers, and I'm like, are you really telling me that you don't even know what's good in your own games, that you have to like have playtesters tell you, this class is really solid, this class not so much?
It's
Like,
painful. It's just so painful. It's so
like
corpo-pilled.
yeah, to an extent, of course, I understand it. Like, you can't really playing a class for 20 sessions, probably a lot more in depth than what you can write. But holy fucking shit, Captain, stop obsessing over measurability, and can you make something good again, fans? No, they cannot. They don't know how.
Yeah, they don't know
That's the
how.
bottom line. Look, I mean, again, look at this. I'm gonna click on this, despite my better judgment. Oh, it's okay. It releases in January. You can pre-order right now. It's probably why it's 10% off. So you are getting. They couldn't even put like pictures here. Oh, this is the pictures. Never mind. That's not many pictures.
Why is it 3 pictures of? Oh my god!
Is there a way to get it? No, this is the res. This is the res we get. God, look at this JPEG as goblin over here. I don't know. I mean, it is. The level of quality for these books has always been okay. They're full color, sure, good job. They are not very well put together, in my opinion. Like in terms of binding, printing.
Also, like, go back to that picture if you can.
The goblin, you mean? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the goblin.
I'd have to zoom in on him if I open him as a picture. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, what's the first three words that come to mind when you look at like the art direction for this specific goblin?
Generic.
World of Warcraft.
True.
The next two words that come to mind: Dark Moon Fair.
Oh fuck! You're so right.
So this is the biggest problem D&D in its identity right now has, is that its identity is so like turned into shredded pasta by this point that they're obviously looking at other things and going, hey, we should be like that, but then copying it so close that when I look at this image, that's all I can think of is Dark Moon Fair and there's a goblin fortune teller. That's terrible. I shouldn't be thinking that.
I want to, since people may not know this, what is this product even? Okay, so you have a deck of a lot of cards, which are illustrated, look like this. And depending on what you want to do with this, you will put different cards into a built deck, so to speak. And then you can lay them out, and you can, for example, pull 5 cards to make a quick adventure, where they're going to have like 5 encounters that the players are going to have to do. And then you can sort of look into the book they give you, this book, and like put them together, interpret them into something that might make sense.
Yep.
So it's basically random encounter tables with extra steps.
Yeah.
For $120.
Uh-huh.
Also, it's this paladin here. She's a paladin. She's autistic. That's not me telling you that. That is the makers of this book saying that in the text of the book. And I'm not against including autistic people in anything, of course. And the writer apparently is themselves autistic, but there's still a tasteful way you put that in, and there's a hitting me over the head with it way you put it in. And then, well, you can also use it as a classic deck of many things. You can make your own less evil deck. You can make a more evil deck. You can blah, 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 blah. It's all built around an item that destroys campaigns. It is the thing that you give your party if you want the game to be over in current D&D. Because someone's going to pull the void, get fucking yeeted to the lower planes with their soul imprisoned by an archdemon. And then the party has to free them or just disband, or the character, this guy plays a new character. This is such a dumb fucking product that I can't even begin to understand why they would do it.
It's the autism thing really gets to me especially because of how they decided to introduce this. This paladin has autism. That's why she was the only person who could befriend a Medusa. And then I facepalmed so hard my forehead hurt. I was just, can you not?
Yeah. The other character is a Medusa in this, and she can't look at her because she's autistic.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that's exactly what I mean by it. You can put it in, but don't put it in a ham-fisted way like that, please.
Yeah.
Like it felt so like a boomer talking about like their autistic niece at like a function.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. Yeah.
Get this heresy off my screen, please. Okay, fine. They're gonna go smaller with it again. Yeah. Like again, you are paying. This is like, even if they make this really well, it's not worth $120.
No,
they are wizards of the coast. They have magic under their belt with Hasbro, right? They can make cardstock cheaply, like at industrial scale. Like their take home on this must be at least 50, 60, $70.
Mm-hmm.
Saying this to you, and it's crazy. This margin is not okay. And then again, like going back, why would I ever pay $70 for this combo pack of Glory of the? I think this is like the book about giants, right?
Yeah, this is a book about giants. It has like some subclasses and some magic and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Why would I pay like? I'm not paying more than $40 for your books, and that's already being at premium D&D.
Yeah,
I've paid $40 for your books. They should be $30. So I'm not paying $45. Sorry, $45 for a PDF on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, it has free shipping. Okay, I grant you that's maybe worth $5. Good job. Like, no, these prices are unacceptable. It was a reviewer on YouTube who said this. Who said, well, if like another company that makes these games, if they make a bad product, they don't eat because the product won't sell. If D&D makes a bad product, then who cares? I guess now we know that they're gonna get laid off eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think, knowing what their sales was, D&D was still doing the best out of all of their stuff. So it doesn't make any sense to fire people for money underperformance from the company. And there's so many pictures of. Why do they repeat the pictures? It's the same picture.
So.
What?
Oh, okay, that's unavailable. I can't compare it then.
Why are they all the same? Why do I need the picture? What? Where's the difference? Where is it twice? Is it because one of them is a PDF? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it probably is.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Look, it doesn't have the book thing on the end of it. They cut it off. It's just a cropped picture. What? I don't understand. Like this. Oh, and then also please subscribe to D&D. What's it called? D&D Beyond?
Yeah, D&D Beyond.
Yeah, but you won't get all of these books unless you also buy them, and where we have limited character slots for you, unless you buy more character slots.
I am going to make a Pathfinder comparison because this is kind of important. If you want to go the route with Pathfinder, and you're just like, man, I don't really have the money to drop on these books. I'm just going to play in this game one day a week.
Yeah.
You can go to a certain website, and all the information is there for you.
Yeah, and
constantly up to date.
And this is actually, like, as far as I know, completely endorsed by the makers.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here's your whole barbarian.
There's their quote-unquote version of D&D Beyond. No, I don't want a character builder on there. I just want the information.
Yeah.
There it is. Have fun.
And then, of course, if you want a character builder, they are also out there.
Yeah, they're out there, and they're all free, nearly all of them. The ones that aren't free are usually ones that, once again, going back to what you said, if somebody doesn't buy their product, they don't eat. So they put a lot of work into them.
Yeah. And, yeah, and a lot of games go this route. And should go this route, because people are going to buy your product if they have fun with it. People are going to do that. Yep. I have bought Fabula Ultima books, sight unseen. Not sight unseen, but after reading it, because it's just a good game. I have the book, the core book here. I will buy the other ones once we start playing. We have physical books. It's great.
It's one of the, like, I may have talked about this once or twice on streams. I kind of live an ascetic lifestyle. I don't like to own a lot of possessions. This is one of the few things that I'm just like, it might be good to own a hard copy of this, because this is something that, even in real life, is an easy sell. Fabula Ultima, walk into a game shop. Oh, yeah. This game's really easy. Yeah. It's a good alternative.
It's also a cute little book because it's like a smaller format than A4.
I love it. I love the format. But yeah, just this game. Sure, play Pathfinder 2e if you want to. Just go for it.
Yeah.
But also, Lancer has all of their stuff online too. And then there's other games that also have all their stuff online. It's just Wizards doesn't want to get with the times because they just want to siphon whatever money they can from you.
Yeah.
If they just got with the times and then said, if you want a premium subscription on top of that to support this website, blah, blah, blah,
Oh,
they would still make a lot of money.
that's another good point that Susanna brings up. Speaking of hard copies, last year Wizards of the Coast cancelled their free digital magazine, and then Thanos snapped, wiped it off the internet. Like,
Yeah.
Great job, guys. Like, what? Well, Waggle's Shadowrun doesn't have all their stuff on, and true. Shadowrun is in a weird spot right now. I am currently not following their 6th edition stuff because it's just I don't like 6th edition. So
it's painful.
Yeah,
like
I will gladly look at their 7th edition. I don't think they can save 6th, so I'm not waiting. So I don't care. So I don't know what's on offer because I have for the early editions, all of the books are available. I'm making air quotes. You can't see it. I'm making them behind my back.
Yes.
And no one out there meh. And then you just play it or you don't. Yeah, I don't know. Where were we? What were we doing?
Just talking about online presence of games. Also about Shadowrun, their main focus, the company that owns Shadowrun every single time, their main focus is always BattleTech. So that's just one of those things also. You can find a lot of BattleTech stuff online, but...
Yep. BattleTech happens to be very successful if you like tabletop stuff, miniature wargaming, without wanting to spend $1 million on Warhammer minis.
And then I have to say something negative about my favorite thing too, since we said something about Shadowrun 6th edition being kind of 5th edition of Vampire is extremely overpriced. One of their books, the Anarch book, is still $55 for a hardback. But the thing is that there's so little content in it.
Oh yeah.
Margins are huge. There's just so much that's wrong with it.
The issue with 5e Vampire is that they overdo their world building in the books to they should put some more fucking crunch into their core books because it's crazy. These are the Hecate. Would you like stuff for them? Well, it's in a book that's not out yet. Haha. I leave now into the night because I'm also a vampire. Do your fucking work when you tell us about these vampires.
To put it in contrast, the clans they trickled out, the non-7 core clans, and 2 of them ended up in actually, I'm sorry. One of them ended up in Chicago by Night, which is just why didn't you lead with here are the other clans instead of putting it in this is a book about Chicago. Oh, by the way, here's the La Sombra. There's just so much.
Yeah.
But it has its problems. I will caution you that. That's why I keep talking up Fabula Ultima, Lancer, etc. Is because all that stuff does not have those speed bumps. Because buy-in is a big deal to me, really huge deal. If part of the reason why whenever we look at a system now and they manage to put everything in the core book, I'm just okay, good job. That's what I want. The 3-book obsession of D&D, whatever we can do to break it, please. I like having splat books that come out later, don't get me wrong, but I still want to have a system where I just need the 1 book to play, period.
Yes. Which is, I guess, something then that like D&D also fails in, because they tell you need the DM guide, but then also what's in the DM guide really? Fuck all. In 5e.
Fuck all.
Monster guide, you kind of need the monster guide, but maybe not. Here, if you're a seasoned DM, you don't need the monster manual. Hot take by me there. And yes, the German publisher for Shadowrun does release some stuff on drive-through. True. Like, sometimes you have to know where to look, because a lot of boomers release Shadowrun and they don't know the internet.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, honestly. There's a lot of boomer-tasticness there. And there's a bit of that in World of Darkness, too.
Yeah.
A lot of Onyx Path. I'm just like, why is this a decision? Like, they could have live streams of all of their games 7 days a week, but they don't. Like, little things like that, where I'm just like, this is the game, this is a set of games that people want to see live streamed, even more than D&D, honestly. Because storyteller systems, that's their strength. Watching 6 people on camera like cringe as a zombie explodes in front of them, you know? It's a strength. But, you know.
They call it Hollow Streets. Okay, well, yeah, I remember that.
Hollow Streets. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've hit the news pretty hard.
Yeah, I think we now should talk about since we are so adamant about what games shouldn't you play, which is D&D. I think we should talk about like what's upcoming and maybe what's cool to play. But it occurs to me, Drake, that this is very much intertwined with the top and bottom lists.
Yes, top and bottom, yes.
So maybe we go over, we do that together. We do a top bottom and then also talk about why you should play the games we say are good. Right?
Sorry. The top bottom lists.
Yeah, top bottom and switch. That's what I have them labeled.
I love it. This is where we're at.
God, now my conundrum is, how do I visualize any of that? Do I
don't know. Notepad? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's is there like a night mode for Notepad? Because I don't want to flashbang everybody.
Oh.
No, there very much is not.
Last time we just did a GDoc, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, we could do a GDoc. That's actually not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, and then you can give me editing rights, and then I can just type in stuff too.
Yes, that's what we did. I remember now.
Yeah.
Let's.
Notepad plus. Okay.
Yeah, I have Notepad plus. That's already where my notes are in, and I can't make a second window of that. I don't. Give me. I'm making the Google Doc. We are very well prepared over here, folks.
Yeah. Like, we had all the websites ready to go. We had Hollow Streets and everything.
So how do I set Google Docs to night mode?
Is there a night mode?
Oh, it's very bright otherwise.
Night mode. Google Docs. Okay, it's called dark mode.
Next tab theme. Google Docs, tab settings, tab theme. Where's settings? Wow.
Search Docs.
Google Docs and tab the 3-line menu. 3-line menu at the top.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Settings. Appearance. Oh, there's a theme tab. What?
Oh, thanks, April Foggy. Funny enough, at the same time, for once, World Anvil is actually doing a stream. I'm like, what?
Nah. Wait, I don't know where to set this. What? Oh,
I think they're doing
it. It's a button. Oh, that's stupid. Slate looks good. Add to Chrome. Okay. Is Google Doc now gonna look like that if I... No. It's still a white page. I hate this. Hmm. Oh, can I make the background be a different color? This is the real struggle, folks.
This is the real final boss of tabletop talk. Because we care about your retinas, everybody.
Background color. Page setup. There is no page setup button. Why is it so complicated?
So apparently it's like the 3 bars right next to where you would search for a doc, which is weird.
No, but that's your Google thing. It needs to be in Docs though. I think.
Yeah.
Google Docs site. Start by entering your email page. What? Okay, wait. Let's go to this website. On the left side. Select blank on the Google Docs homepage. Upper left corner, find the File tab. File. No. File. Page setup. Page color. Let's make it blue. Okay. Oh, that's not a great blue. Maybe more this. Yeah, and then we can make this be. I color text in this program. God, why?
Why does it have to be like sacrificing something to a immortal deity?
Why?
So many steps.
The struggle. Wait, file. Is it? Oh. Page color. Apply to whole document. Paper size. This is legitimately not what we want. Like, I know you can color the text. Oh, God. Right? No, that's background color. No, non-background color. White text. Yeah, perfect. Haha. And now it just looks partially like shit. Oh, I'm not what the hell? I'm not allowed to edit my own document anymore? Okay, no. Wait. What? I opened it somehow and... What the fuck is going on? Okay, new document. Page setup. Page. This color. Okay. Text. It's white. Perfect. Okay. We are doing it, folks. Let me share my Google. Chrome. I'm sure I have a share for Chrome somewhere.
Chrome for share.
Guess we added window capture Chrome. Not working.
There we go.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. Now we crop this.
There we go. That works.
Robert. Perfect. Okay. Now we have a blue box, and I can make this actually bigger. And now we move it. Oh, everything. Okay. Top slash bottom slash switch. Makes games of.
Share and edit link.
Yes,
whenever
I will.
You get a chance.
I will do that. I will do that. Let me just set it up with a nice
Oh yeah, nice beginning.
Yeah. And then we want this. And 11 again. How would I? Tools. Format. Oh, what? This button. Yeah. Sure, save that.
Yeah.
And here is the link.
Perfect.
Yay. Waggel's wake up call official. So, what do you want to start with, Drake? The top games of this year? Or the bottom games of this year? Or like some honorable mentions we may or may not have, which includes the most mid games of 2023?
I think we should start with this year. It's always good to start out with the top because then it gets really funny when we start talking about the bottom.
Okay, top 5 2023. 5 TTRPG games we reviewed in. Yeah. Alright. We are gonna have me. And we are gonna have Drake. And what's our fifth most and fourth, third, second, first. What's your fifth? Actually, you're gonna be first then because I'm gonna.
Yeah, swap us around then. Yeah.
But, thank you for auto format. Always very appreciated. There we
go. Because I loved this so much as a kid.
Okay.
It's very evocative still to this day. I still look back at the books to this day, which is a huge deal, honestly. Like, there are very few old books that I still do, and it's one that continues to inspire me to this day.
I will grant you it's one of the games that is good this year. It was not in my top, though.
Yeah.
Like, for you, it's like nostalgia factor. I get that.
Yeah, it's definitely nostalgia.
Like, for me, I've kind of looked at this in a lens of, would you play it today? An Amazing Engine said one that no, I would not play it today.
Yep.
My number 5 is Mermaid Adventures. A simple reason for that. This game is specifically made for like children's introduction to RPGs, deliberately made simple, but made in a way where it's like, oh yeah, we are gonna have some rules, and you're gonna have to make a character, and you're gonna have to do all of those steps that an RPG will also ask of you. But it's an introduction game, and it's fun, and it's a good theme, and it's a good product just overall, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, really good product.
Should you play this? If you have children, it's a good intro game. I would probably not tell you to play this for a long adult campaign where you're gonna have like big adventures. Probably not for that. What's your 4 then? Oh,
Advanced RPG. Yes. There's a lot of reasons for this. I was swayed quite a bit by listening to what are their name? Wormfather, and the Epic's Tales that Wormfather has engaged in with the Expanse RPG,
Oh yeah,
just
hell
using
yeah.
it as is,
Yep.
which blows me away because we don't really see many 3D6 systems anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and they are continuing to work
Yes.
with 3D6 in ways that I didn't think were possible.
The 3D6 is tainted forever by GURPS.
Yeah, that's part of the
uh,
problem. Yeah.
yeah, I put it on, since you mentioned it, I'm going to put it on where it's on my list. It's my third.
Okay.
Because I agree with you. It's a good, solid game. But the only thing is that you have to have the buy-in of, oh, do we all know what the fuck the expense is?
Yeah.
Probably have to see the show, which you should anyway. And probably gonna have to like, yeah, do some like reading in the book because it's a crunchy system.
Yeah.
But it's very worth it if you do.
Yeah.
My number 4, and this is purely for mechanics, because we really gushed about those. It's Age of Sigma, which,
Oh yeah.
as we said in the show, don't play this for the setting, but do steal all of the rules and make your own game in it.
I wrote that as my number 2
Hell
for the
yeah.
same reason, because sometimes a product's rules will just like put it head and shoulders above the rest. So it was one of those rare moments where I was like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, super tight. Super tight. It's crunchy. It's still crunchy, so you have to like crunchy rules. If you like simple, maybe give it a pass. But if you like like a little bit of crunch, but approachable crunch, it's not the Pathfinder crunch where it's just like overmathed. No, it's just the thing where if you if you do it wrong in Age of Sigmar, your character's going to be terrible. But it's going to reward you a lot more for making a unique character that's good at things than let's say a Pathfinder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's your third then?
My third. Oh yeah, a little game towards the start of the year.
Ah. Yeah, not gonna.
Because we rarely review diceless systems, and this was the
Yep.
one that really stood out.
Yep. This honestly is like, this game is so cool. Like, it's just completely like, yeah, just tell a story. Here's some rules for that, but you don't need any dice. You don't like, you just decide what's gonna make sense for your character to happen. It's gonna happen, and that's cool and good and nice. It's also the most like a heartwarming little game I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, that's a huge part of it too. Also, there's so many little expansion books. So if you're just like, I want to do this, but I want to do it with I don't know, Russian fairies instead, just do it. It'll work fine.
Yeah. And now I know what's our number 1 for both of us.
Yeah.
But please, you write it first.
I'm just kidding.
Not from this year! And I have to write like, I don't know, Alien or something. Fabula. But Alien is also not from this year. Fuck, I forgot. Yeah. It's not a surprise that this is number 1 with a bullet.
Yeah.
The character making in it is amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
it really is.
You have the most freedom I've ever seen, but it's still undergirded by a lot of. There's more. How do I put this? It feels very free, but the limitations that they do give you are really meaningful. As an example, like I mathed out a character just for fun to see like what I could get to, and it turns out, okay, so I have all of these, but I want these things, but if I take that additional thing, then I basically have to take that as that class at level 5 or 6 to make that good. What do I cut? Or I can't cut anything. Is that thing better than what I have? Like, you have those decisions that you have in other games, but you have them in a more meaningful way, I would say. Just because it allows you to have so many choices in it. And so I very much believe that no two characters in that game, are going to be identical. Like, because, yeah, okay, sure. You both picked Rogue, and that might mean we have overlapping skills. The other 4 classes we eventually are going to have are going to be different. And that's very cool. Like, it's honestly best game. Also has tight mechanics in other respects. It's not just that, but the character mechanics is what clinches it for me so hard.
That's what it boils down to for me. Also, I can make whatever monster I want 2 seconds.
Yep.
After just reading the system once. There are so many other games like D&D and Pathfinder where you don't know what the balance is until you test it like 12 times. You really don't. Yes. That's very accessible for new people and old people alike.
So this is for this year the bottom 5 that we're talking about now. So what's in your 5th entry?
Oh goodness.
Oh, it didn't even make my bottom list. Wow.
It still bothers me. The mechanics bother the shit out of me still, like constantly. Like I always think whenever we talk about the worst ones, I think what still annoys me, and fair. This still annoys me.
Well, for much a similar reason, my number 5. Like, it's Dream Park.
Oh yeah.
Like, fuck that game. Oh yeah, you have it? No, you just went down.
No.
Yeah, okay. Like, I almost feel like this is kind of the same in the way it has a lot of weird mechanics that are there for no good reason. It doesn't really tell you what you're supposed to do. Like, the glue of a Cthulhu game is that we are 1920s detective people or investigators, not detectives, but we're investigating shit. Victoriana's like, yeah, you're here's in the steampunk setting. Have fun. I guess do whatever you want. And not good enough. Meanwhile, Dream Park is just like a mess. It's like one of the weirdest messes I've ever seen. Rob Froggy, we reviewed Lancer, but not this year. So it's gonna be on lists. Like, spoiler alert, but it's not gonna be on this top bottom 5 right now. We're talking about Lancer later though, yeah.
So I wonder if I can do this because I want to be funny. I do want to give a special mention to Dream Park for creating this meme. Let's see if I can just paste it in.
No, you're gonna paste the meme. Oh no. Oh no. I think I know which meme you mean. Oh.
Did it show up? There it is.
Oh god, watch that episode. Watch that fucking episode if you haven't. The episode is gold. It
was good.
I loved tearing that game down, but oh my god, is it bad?
It's so bad.
Okay.
It's so bad.
It's gonna keep the meme there. Right. No, keep it.
Oh, okay, I'll just keep it there.
It can just live there.
Yeah, you live there on this first page, yeah.
We can keep pushing it downwards, and if new memes come in, they're gonna post
them okay, yeah. All right.
These are both games like that I've forgotten to time. Victoriana did it way quicker than yeah. Let me see. Yeah, actually, we're in agreement there.
Yeah. Iron Heroes is like another aspect of what makes a game really bad to me is, man, you had so much potential. You were the chosen one. And Iron Heroes could have been really, really good.
Yeah.
But it's 3E, and it gets bogged down in other stuff. And just...
It's 3rd edition, and then also they gave everybody like a little thing they do. But those things are completely like not balanced against each other or balanced well or even comparable on like the same hemisphere. Like, oh, you can shoot bow better, or you can like really impact the whole battlefield. Which would you like more? So, no, that game was just kind of mid. Like, it was an interesting time capsule, though. I will say that.
Oh yeah, that was the whole point of it, which ironically ended in Mike Merrill's losing his job this year. I'm sorry, Mike. That was all my fault.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
That stayed with me.
it's bad. I didn't put it on the list because nobody plays the role-playing game.
Yes.
That's my only reason.
Valid.
Like we talked about we kind of did talk about Lancer in this episode because but yeah, no, we technically did Lancer earlier, but anyway. Yeah, McRae 2E is not a good role-playing game because it doesn't really know, like, it wants to sell you on the world they made and it doesn't give you like any good tools to play a character in that. My number 3 is Phoenix Command.
Oh yeah.
Just because it is not a role-playing game. It's a fucking gun shoot simulator with math that it took like 30 years for people to even find a way to write it as code, so people can now technically use it for stuff, maybe. And I'm not convinced it's realistic either. I'm just convinced it's too complicated for you to know it's unrealistic. Like, sure, the guy who wrote it is now a rocket engineer, but I don't care. Like, it looked weird to me. But yeah, it's Phoenix Command is a very, very strange outlier of like role-playing games, if you even want to call it that. Okay, what's your 2?
My 2. This is just all because of one phrase.
Oh no! Oh,
like when we were talking about stuff being mid, the problem is that Cyberpunk Red has stayed with me this whole time because every morning since I've woken up and I thought shoulder arms.
No. Yeah, shoulder.
No. Yeah.
So, sometimes it's something like that. Cyberpunk Red doesn't make the list for me. I hate the game. I think it's a badly written game. I didn't make the list for me. My number 2 is Cult.
Oh yeah, Cult.
Because where else can you find a whole spell system about rape? If not in Cult.
Like, it outdid Haven City of Violence in that regard. You are right.
In that regard, it kind of did. Yeah. Haven still wins on the racism.
Yeah, it's like the two are in competition.
Like, I know what they wanted to do with Cult. I realized more that there is like there's a way to do Cult in a way that isn't shitty. Maybe there is. That doesn't exist for Haven. It's not possible to play Haven without it being shitty. But every fiber of that Cult book screams at you to play a shitty game. It's a weird flex on them, I guess. I don't know. It's just bad.
There's so many games where, yes, be the anti-hero that exists, like Mork Borg and so on. But then Cult says, no, do magic rape.
And also there's mind control, but it's distinct. There's sexual mind control and other mind control and stuff. It's so weird. Yep.
It's so weird.
Yeah, honestly, that was so weird. That was one of my the weirdest game we've ever done is Cult.
Cult is really weird. It really is. And it will always be really weird. I can't even think of a redeeming quality to it. I really can't. It's just that so much of it washed over me and then left my body that I was but shoulder arms, John Smith.
No, I
could
get
you
it.
do better? Yeah, it's weird how that is.
And what's your number 1? Oh, that's so valid. It didn't make my list for some reason because I probably memory wrote all of it. My number 1, because we did do it this year, is Adventures of Indiana Jones.
Oh God, respect.
Which I think you forgot we did this year.
Exactly. I'm going to put that on the mid list then because I forgot. Yeah.
No, it's not mid. You can't put it on mid. What do you mean? But rather
I have to put it on mid because
wait. Here. Oh, why is it underlined? Oh, we can fix that later. Yeah, that's what we do.
Oh, okay.
That's what we do because no.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, there. Adventures of Indiana Jones is one of the oldest games we ever reviewed, and it didn't have the a way to make a character.
No, it didn't.
Which is really like a strong decision if you are making a role-playing game. Like, not everybody gets that idea. Can I strike through in this somehow? Format? No. Fuck it, never mind. I want to do a cool thing. Google Docs is complicated. So, if you have 4 players, one of them is going to play indie, one of them is going to play short round, and then you have already run out of memorable characters from that you would want to play. Like, I guess the guy from the first movie, he was from the desert or something. Like, and then you have to make up a reason why they would be doing anything. And terrible. And as for alternative, please, break.
Oh, opine? Oh, because this is the ultimate example of a control die system. You have D20 that you roll, and then you roll another die with it. Great, cool. That sounds like a really revolutionary idea. Let's explicate that with 4 classes. Only 4 classes. And then let's make the races just utterly weird, off the wall, whatever, so that you're completely incapable of going, okay, so what is this wearing? What does it do? Where does it live? Is it like a Klingon? No, it's actually supposed to be Sasquatch, but it looks nothing like Sasquatch, etc. Like, there's just so much with that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just an overwhelming amount of things that I just hated about it. And it'll always be that way. Like, it'll always be in my mind that way, because it's just an example of a very bad transitional system that was attempting to be the generic sci-fi funny system that received, like, what was it, StarCraft, the tabletop role-playing game, was an alternative, and other things, and it was bad. It was just bad.
Yeah, I agree. And now these, the most middest games, this is like basically a free space where we won't have numbers, because these 3 games are mid. They're mid as fuck. And mentioning them is just to mention them again. And to caution you against them, basically. So, Trick, what do you have on this square, if anything?
Honestly, what's funny is that, like, I forgot that we did 7th Sea.
Oh my god. Okay.
So that's like the perfect example, because I'm just like, oh yeah, I brought that up because of the core mechanic in it, and I forgot what it was. So
fucking F. This is valid. 7th Sea I was like sitting here being like, I can't put it in the top. It wasn't bad, but I remember nothing. I can't put it in the top. It's like, again, if you like a pirate game, 7th Sea is fine.
That's fine. It's just not memorable.
Yeah, it's
I remember what we freaked out about, like, for 2/3 of the episode. It was the fucking world that they created.
Yeah, true.
I didn't remember that until now. Like, that's how mid it was.
My most mid is Red. Because it's the perfect amalgamation of a good setting with a terrible game rule system, which cancel each other out and make it a game I would never want to play.
Yep.
Like, make media in that world. I don't fucking care about it, about your game.
Yep.
Dream Park? Okay.
The reason why Dream Park is there is I kept forgetting the name of it. Like, that's... Like, I could only remember the meme I posted. I could never remember the name. That's damning. Like, if I can't remember the name of your game, something's wrong, buddy.
Yeah, and my other pick, I don't have 5 here, I only have 2, is Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, because it hasn't fucking changed in 30 years.
Yes, no.
Like, that whole episode we did was us with a magnifying glass trying to find the individual bits of it that were different from like editions we had read, and turns out they're a little bit better on the mental illness rules. and maybe there's like fewer references to some other problematic stuff. And that's it. That's like you're paying full price for that. It's even worse than D&D.
Mm-hmm. Like the most memorable part of that episode was me reading aloud the copy pasta of Bonzi the Clown. Like that's terrible.
Yes, yes. Well, I agree. You could do cyberpunk setting with Shadowrun rules, just like only allow humans, no magic, which kind of would make it a very limited game, and that's kind of where you see my other problem with the red setting. Like, it's not that wide of a setting.
No.
Like, if you only have humans and you only have these 10 jobs they can do, and what 5 of those jobs are not even really applicable to the game wants you to play, it's not a good sign. Hold on, Nora. I'm holding.
We're holding. And I can't think of another mid game. 2023, most of the games are actually pretty memorable.
Yeah.
Like Buffy is memorable. Justice Incorporated is memorable.
Don't even think for a moment I would ever use Cyberpunk Red's class systems. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. Like, the game as written has that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the class system is garbage. I agree, Ro. I agree, Froggy. It's so bad.
It's so bad. And then there was nothing else to make up for that, except for shoulder arms, which haunt me to my last days.
It really got you bad. Oh my god.
It really did.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I have encountered like bad phrases in games, but that's just one that just.
Okay, now I want to. Having done this, I want to get. Ooh, yeah, it's a very professional document. I want to get the. I want to do it in reverse because I want to end on the best games.
Yeah, let's do it in reverse.
That will dovetail us into the
greater discussion. Yeah.
Into the discussion about like what games you should be playing. Yeah. So the most mid games we ever reviewed. I can't type. Most. There we go. What's your first pick on that one?
Let's see here. We'll randomly pick one from this list. Oh yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
That was the one that I forgot again that we did. That's how mid it was.
Yeah, so we have done 3 comedy games basically for this show. The good one was Toon. The bad one was Tales of the Floating Vagabond. And the one no one remembers is Teenagers from Outer Space. Why is it the mid one? Well, because I can see the fun potential to play that game one time. But that's about all of it.
Yep, loses its luster very quickly after that point.
Yep.
Let's pick from other years here. Like, I don't even remember anything about this game. Like, that's how mid it was. Like, once again, I went to the well of can I remember, and I'm like, I can't. Sorry.
For me, it's this.
Oh yeah, fucking mid as fuck.
Kind of the same thing. The Alien game, it didn't give you any idea on how to run things, and I've forgotten every little bit of mechanic that it ever presented to me. So it's basically just me remembering the movies.
Yes.
And being like, oh yeah, that's a mixed bag. First 2 were good. What am I supposed to do in your game? Oh, you don't. I remember that not having any useful advice for that. Ooh, yeah, I have that too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons. The big reason is whenever somebody mentions Elric, I forget that there was a role-playing game for it, and I forget that we reviewed it. Like, it's very forgettable.
Yeah, the whole point of it is, this kind of invents the chaos versus order dichotomy for role-playing games. But it's just so fucking old and so outdated now, nobody cares. Also, that game is shittily balanced.
Oh, so shittily balanced.
It's just like, oh yeah, you have even more bonus points and stuff.
I find this game imminently forgettable.
I didn't put it on it because I can see that some people might like it. Like I can never forget that it was set in the stupid ass Fallout 4 setting.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. By the way, these are per definition also on this list. I'm not going to put them there again.
Yeah.
But I've now run out of mid games actually.
Okay.
For myself. Unless Drake mentions what I agree with. And to talk and yes, Froggy. Yes. You could of course play Red in that way, making like your own cool like class combo thing. And the game allows you that technically, but only later on.
And in a shitty way.
In a shitty way, exactly. Mm-hmm. Why it is extra work to make it work at all. So no, thank you. I would rather do it just in Shadowrun. And then I would rather play Shadowrun because it's just more interesting.
Oh yeah, it's way more interesting to begin with at the outset. There's also more like world changed stuff going on, whereas there's a lot in Cyberpunk Red of this is continuation of status quo, that this is already the trajectory we're going on.
Yep. True.
I picked Legendary Adventures as mid because literally the only thing I could remember from it I had forgotten the name of, and then you had to remind me that you can play an oath.
Well, just the fact that I remember that you can play an oath makes that game not forgettable to me. It will forever remember.
Exactly. I've forgotten.
Oh god, I was very all in on making an oath in that game.
Yes. All right, so let's see here. I will type it this time.
Oh yeah, I have
10.
I have 12. I couldn't get
it.
Yes. Yes. Let's put that on the next page. It's gonna jump over anyway.
Let's do another page. Yeah.
Also, we have the meme. We have the meme back. That's really what I wanted. So 12, 11, 10. Then we can write the rest out on our leisure. So I'm not gonna put you on the spot here. I'm just not gonna get the long mentions, but I couldn't cut them from the list. But I also couldn't like. We have reviewed so many stinkers that I couldn't put them higher. My 12 is Dark Eye.
Okay, that's fair.
Because while I really dislike that game, at least the world setting is nice. I happen to know it. The rules are shit, but yeah, it's a bad game. I don't play it. Easy to do because it's only ever been popular in Germany. We did it because it's my childhood and I grew up on the bad game. And then my 11 is Blades in the Dark. Main reason this isn't higher is that it's so fucking forgettable. Oh yeah, and Trick agrees with me.
I'm just gonna put it in there, and then I'm gonna think of a number 12 also.
Yeah. I'm sure once I mention, we'll jump into your brain. It's like, oh fuck yeah, that existed.
This is like I picked that one because it's more of a why did we even? So we know why, but still, it's
that one was
this is so bad.
It was like, let's say they had such an easy job and they bungled it so hard, and that's amazing to me.
That's the best way to put it.
Okay, Victoriana 3. Again, it's just, you know what? It goes up here and actually into my mid games because because
it keeps coming back, but like
I don't care. I do not give a crap about Victoriana. It's just it had potential. You squandered all of it. Try again.
Yeah, exactly.
My number 10 is Rollmaster.
Oh man, we're very close again.
Reason why that's on it is because while that game is horrendous, I believe that most people will realize how horrendous it is and just not play it. So most people dodge that bullet. I played that game purely out of like morbid curiosity, and it was just as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like if you've ever played any game, you can see it coming. If you ever played like a board game, you can tell that the rules in Rollmaster are fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Edge of the Empire is bottom 10 for you?
Yeah, and there's
Oh,
one reason why.
okay,
I was
interesting.
reminded about the dice system recently.
Oh,
I was talking with a few friends, and they were talking about, yeah, Star Wars is great. It's wonderful. And they had this like pensive tone in what they were saying. I was like,
okay.
okay, what's the deal? And yeah, I just hate that we have to use an app just to roll the dice.
What?
Yeah, Edge
Okay.
of the Empire is that weird, funny dice system that's just like way overly complicated.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's ugh. That's why I made the list. It was just memory.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
think I'm now mentioning one that might be higher on your list.
Yeah, it's higher on my list for a special reason, which I will get to.
Then we are going to talk about when it's time when even you talk about
Yeah,
it. Yeah, okay.
yeah, I will talk about it thoroughly. All right, this goes along with you, Rollmaster.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Same reasons, except like the rules cause me pain. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if you notice a pattern with me, everybody is I consider something really bad if it has missed potential or the rules hurt me. Like those are the two main criteria for me.
Yes. I Rollmaster. So yeah, Rollmaster is just. And this is my
Yeah.
number 8.
Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
if you ever wanted to read a comedy game where all of the jokes fall flat, and where the game is about you like doing cool hero shit in a fun way, but then also it has very very realistic rules where how you die.
Yeah.
That's really your game, and I don't think
Yeah.
there's like the Venn diagram of that is just two circles, at the
Yeah.
bottom of a well, not intersecting. Like
Hmm.
like no one wants that in their comedy game.
Nobody does. Nobody does. Um, number 7.
Certainly a pick. I didn't. Okay, I haven't put that on my list, but maybe it's a 13. I can't put.
Oh, heck,
Um,
what caused me pain. But we were going to detail about yes, number 7 is at number 13, but only for 2 hours.
oh yeah,
Uh,
Top Secret. Such an old bad game. It doesn't ever tell you what you want to do. It was the game where you could earn XP for killing people.
yes, just for
But
killing
only if you're an
people.
assassin. But then you kill random dudes and you just XP. It's so
Oh my
weird.
god, it's so
My
weird.
number 7 is Prime
Oh
Directive.
god, fucking Prime Directive.
The game that started all of this.
Uh,
Like the game where I made okay, you all have to read this with me. Okay, Top Secret is mine then.
uh, there you go.
um
That feels right.
like Prime Directive to really quickly because I think most people don't know this weird little thing. So back in the day when the original series for Star Trek was the only Star Trek, they sold the TTRPG rights to some rando. And that rando made a bad game called Prime Directive. And they hold the rights to that particular slice of the universe to this day. Um, there's other games in the Star Trek universe that actually build on the other like stories and lore that exist, but Prime Directive just made up their own shit, and it's like kind of as a Starfleet, but it also there's like here's random races we made up, and it's bad. It's a game that tells you, well, if your character got hurt, maybe it was your fault. So you should, like, while the other people go for pizza, stay home and read 20 pages of the dictionary. Your DM is allowed to tell you to do that. Like, what the hell?
Pain.
Yeah, that game was again. I credit that game for starting this whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to give it credit for that.
yeah. I have even higher than that.
Mm.
And my number 5 is Cult.
Oh god,
it's gone up there.
These two really battled it out, honestly.
Yeah, it's
A
the
lot
good.
of things.
Yeah, in a good place here.
Ugh.
Wait, am I? Oh, sorry, we had 6. So my Cult is my 5. I
Oh,
went in the wrong. Well, spoiler alert, but now you know. Here it is.
Yeah,
And Phoenix Command is actually my 6.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Because again, it's not a game. It's just a fucking gun shoot simulator. The bad one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's higher in my list.
Yeah, Dungeon World still hurts. And
Yeah.
this was one of this is where we get into the territory of the third criteria. The fuck is with you, creator? It's come up several times.
Dungeon World is the most half-assed game that's ever been asked.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, let's just take out the parts of D&D I personally don't like, not replace them with anything else, and also make it bad. And then also let's molest some people as the creator of the game, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm not only talking about the stupid-ass, shitty-ass game he made.
Oh,
on its
so
own terms,
bad.
it's bad. Like, if you talk about the crimes the author committed, obviously that's even worse, but the product is damning in its own right.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yep, I completely agree. Just pain.
Yeah, I have it.
I will explain why.
Oh yeah,
I'll
please.
explain why.
Please mention it.
So,
put
this is so there are two creators now who have responded to me on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is the lovely creator of Fabula Ultima. Actually responded to something I said once.
We had the Eternity guy in our chat during the Eternity episode, so that's 3.
Oh, that's 3.
No, Eternity, no, what was it? Fuck, it wasn't Eternity. It was Aberrant.
Oh,
We had the guy in there
Aberrant.
was, new version fixes that, and was like, oh, cool, maybe we read that one day, and then we didn't.
That's true. So yeah, that's 3 then. Fabula Ultima, Aberrant, and then the creator of Cinnabar, who responded to me in a very boomerish fashion, like responding to me and then responding to his response and responding to his response to his response.
Yeah, oh man.
But like, none of them were at the character limit.
Yeah.
It was like when he randomly fired off on the toilet. And it was exactly what you would expect. It was like the whole people have never really tried my game if they say the thing that you said. And I didn't even say the thing that he's assuming I said at all.
Like,
I just posted a meme and then he responded to it.
We tried to read your game, dude. It's unplayable. It's unplayable, obviously. I don't know. That's the idea of, well, here's like a rule for if you want to play a Panther Man, you have to have 18s on 3d6 on all your stats and 117. You roll those straight down the line, by the way. And then Panther Man is way worse than most of the other races. Just high stats. It's just a perfect Panther Man who then dies. Like, that game had not a single redeeming quality to it. The only reason I don't put it higher on my list anymore is that it's so obscure that like no one's talking about it. Only the creator and the guy has no groundswell. I remember his Twitter being like for 2 years just reposting a weird zine or something that he was making that nobody read. With not a single like or retweet on 2 years of retweets from them talking about it. And that guy's just can languish in obscurity forever after also like fucking people over hardcore with like scams. So good riddance. Like terrible person.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like when people like make the comment about a basement dweller, he is one of those kinds of people. Like he looks like I'm not usually one to shame somebody for their appearance, but he looks like he's trying to constantly cosplay the detective from The Expanse, but badly. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing with your life?
I don't care. Like, yeah, you are right. I don't care about his appearance. I only care that he's made bad product.
Yeah, it just makes me say that phrase though. What are you doing with your life? Like everything, just everything. Yeah. Meanwhile, Podsman.
Again, I can't put it on because it's mid for me, but I get it.
It's just
like I get it. The decision was either to put it high on the list or to put it mid, and I'm putting it mid just because again the setting. Like the setting has done good things, But yeah, the system is irredeemable crap.
There's so much potential. It could have banked so hard on this game, on this video game, but just didn't. Dude, it was right there. You could have had it. You could have had like the D&D competitor, but no, just no.
Yes.
Oh God, Haven. Yes.
Haven City of Violence, the one game where you get bonus to your attack and damage if you're racist.
Yep.
Amazing. I'm still
Amazing.
the Milk Baby episode, yes, legendary. Like, it is one of those games that like it should have a status akin to Fatal and stuff, because it's just whoever this author is, I hope they're in a better place now. Like, it was just so weird. You could tell that they are not sound of mind while reading that book. Also, like, also not sort of mind, and also quite like basically a teenager. I don't know, like how that got published as a real book. I will never know. It's the most baffling one on here for me, like in terms of products. What's your what's your 2?
All right. Might as well do them both. Your childhood game still bothers me to this day because of the 3D20 system. That every time Dark Eye get mentioned, I'm like,
oh, you remember that? Yeah, and here's mine.
I just cannot forget it. I just cannot.
But it's only for skill checks, which come up very often.
See, that makes it worse. Makes it worse.
Yeah.
Lack of consistency. And then the crown jewel.
It has to be. Yeah, thank you. Obviously, we're in agreement there.
That's it.
Yeah, so all of these games you can technically play.
Technically.
I said this last year and I say it again. Nobody has played Continuum.
No.
Not even the author of Continuum has played Continuum.
No, there's no way. No. There's no alternate timeline where that's happened.
Yes.
No.
Froggy, to explain it in detail, I'm gonna we have text here so I can do it. Let's say you have a perception skill of 10. I'd say 5, who cares? And that is based on your intuition, intelligence, and let's say intuition twice actually. So this is what it looks like. So your skills are based on 2 or 3 attributes, and you have a number in the skill. Then you have intuition of, let's say, 13, and intelligence of 11, let's say. And so then you roll 3d20. Let's say they show 15, 8, 15. So what you do, you look at the first roll, which is against intuition. That's 2 over. So we have my -2 here, but we still have points. The next roll is against intuition again. You roll an 8. We don't get anything for rolling under. We are still at -2. And then our next run is at -6 total. So we just failed that roll because we didn't hit within our 5 points. That's what you do for every single skill check in Dark Eye. This process. It's very not good. Double plus not good.
I hate it so much.
It plays at a table, right? When you are young and full of cum, it plays okay because you can just roll 3d20 that are color coded, and you have written down what color what is first, second, third roll. Yeah, young, dumb, and full of cum. You know, Froggy, don't you know that one? Don't you all not know that say? That's what young Nora was. But I was not that young. Young GER. Fuck off. Not a child. Oh man. No, but yeah, it's a bad system. Okay, but now let's leave this terrible shit behind. By the way, continue. It's about time travel.
Yeah, it's about time travel.
And it sucks.
Also,
and,
I forgot about this. Just look at the meme that I just pasted.
What the fuck is this again?
So they had a system that was like impairment points in Continuum.
Oh yeah, right.
Like with the detail of like how much impairment would occur if you got hit by tank treads. And it's just like tank treads have 8 impairment points. And I just was freaked out over that for like 20 minutes straight because I was just like, what does this mean? Like, what do you mean?
To give you just a little taste of how Continuum was supposed to be played. Remember that scene from Bill and Ted where they are like, hey, we need the key to this door, but we don't have it. But since we have a time machine, we can just go to the time machine and find the key and put it under the mat. So it will be under the mat right now because we already did that in the future. And then they find the key. That's exactly how you play Continuum, except you're doing it against other time travelers who also can do that and can do it better than you. So you always lose. And then if you don't always lose, eventually you just get to play Civilization solo with your DM. And then the game is over. And don't ask me how that makes sense because it doesn't. I can't explain why it's like that. You're just playing like Civilization make-believe. It's so weird. And the whole thing is about the timeline has to be saved because this is the best timeline. If we do anything different, the ultimate future, which is perfect, will not happen. So we have to defend Hitler from all of the time travelers that try to kill him. None, Froggy. None that make sense. None that are fun. It's all shitty. Yeah, exactly, Froggy. Yeah, I'm sorry, what? Exactly. The game mentions that. Well, you might not personally have to do it, but people in the time travel continuum do it. Because it's the best timeline, Froggy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna defend it. I'm just gonna tell you what the book says it's supposed to do. It would be interesting to have that records, I agree. But the point is that you only have time travel movies only work if you have one party time traveling, because otherwise you enter into weird paradox mode. The game is all about having those paradoxes and resolving them. And obviously, if I am at a table, kind of drunk, playing a game with my friends for fun, I am not gonna be in the mindset to even do that. No. True, Froggy, true. Yeah, let's get to the top games, which I actually have been able to cut down to 10 top games.
Oh, okay. I put in the buffer just in case.
I mean, you probably mention stuff that I don't have in Smash Bros. And then put it in. Okay, what's your 10?
All right. Oh wait, no, that's the worst list. Okay.
It is. Oh, that's my bottom list. Oopsie. Spencer RPG. Yes, I have that as well. I'm gonna just put it in since we're talking about top games.
Yeah.
It's on my 7.
We've already been over it, but yeah,
game,
it's still really good.
About it. It's really good. You have to like the expense though. It's the only thing. Well, my 10 is an oldie, but a goodie because I can never forget how much fun we have had in that.
It's a lot of fun still.
Yeah. After the Bomb is probably your best bet to get into Palladium games and not be overwhelmed, because it's its own contained thing and you don't have to do anything else in it. You have to go at it with a mind towards exploiting the system because that's what it wants you to do.
Yeah, that's what you have to do the whole time. It's just like any other Kevin Symbiotic game in that regard.
But if you do, you're gonna end up with with a ninja frog, which is what I played, who can just do 18 actions, and then you're gonna have a giant horse lady who can punch through solid steel.
Who does 1d100 damage with a punch?
Yes. Yes. Golden Sky Stories again higher on my list, but here it is.
Yep.
Really good game. It's really good.
Best diceless game we've reviewed. I think it's the only diceless game.
It's the only one, but also that sounds like fan praise now, but it is really good.
Oh,
like they made it
really good,
simple enough and laser focused enough that you know what to do, and it's a good ass experience in my opinion. Also cute as hell art.
Yeah, it's really adorable. Like, it's definitely a game that's like, so the Mermaid Adventures game almost feels like at some point it's intended for kids to play with each other. The big thing with Golden Sky Stories is it feels very much like a parent and kids sitting down to play it.
Yeah, you could do Golden Sky Stories would be also good for kids, for sure. My number 9 is Age of Sigmar.
Oh, yeah. Good pick.
Which, to reiterate, only for the rules.
I put it up here.
Oh, we just mirrored ours. That's fine.
Because, again, really good rules, really important to me. So, like, Age of Sigmar is just way ahead of the competition in that regard. So, but a game that we haven't mentioned at all this episode until now. Number 8.
Drake, we're sharing a brain cell. It's my 8 too. What the hell?
There we go. There we go.
If like this is another game where you're probably best off ignoring the meta game, the meta plot they made. But just in terms of solid rules for playing an action game, Feng Shui is really good. And it really gives you so many tools for making interesting encounters with lots happening. And drills home so hard that if you're going to have a shooter at a harbor, there has to be a crane and it has to come into play at some point. There has to be someone swinging off of that fucking chain on it. And there has to be a bunch of barrels that explode, obviously. And like, a boat will come in with additional mooks in the middle of the fight and stuff like that, just because it's a fucking adventure game, adventure movie you're playing. There's expectations here.
It does action movie better than anything else we've reviewed, honestly.
Yep.
Which, there's very few games that do that, honestly. So,
I have Overarms on 5.
Perfect.
We haven't talked about this yet on this show. I mean, on today's show. This is oh my god. This is basically the JoJo RPG.
Yep.
Where you make a stand and the stand can do cool things and it's very freeform. We're going to re-review that in the new year, which we're going to Since this is the first one we mentioned about that right now, let me just talk about that real quick. Yeah. Since our third host, you might or might not remember, is no longer with us, because we had a falling out, a certain number of episodes has vanished to the ether because they were on their channel and they are now no longer with us. That channel, the episodes, at least they aren't in the playlist anymore. They haven't checked on the channel over there. So we are going to re-review some of the interesting games that we talked about back then. Yes. And Overarms is definitely going to make that list of re-reviews. Those might be looks at more than one game, because we're probably not going to want to talk 3 hours about a game we technically already did.
Yeah.
We're a bit more like focused in on what's good and maybe what's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna happen in 2024.
The only situation where I could imagine us talking endlessly about something is if it releases additional things for it, which Overarms may have. I don't know yet. I haven't looked.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Sorry, that was my German brain. No longer with us does not mean they died. It means we don't talk anymore because they are shitter. What's your 6th?
Number 6. This is purely nostalgia. I admit it.
Okay. I didn't make my list, but that's just fine. Mine is Toon.
Yep.
Because it's the good comedy game we did, and I like it.
Yep.
And it does everything just right.
Does. Yeah. If, like, it was re-released with a slight update to the system, I think everybody would be interested in playing it today.
Yeah,
like, literally.
I think so. I agree.
Like, throw in anime and everybody will play it.
Yep. Let's make us a few extra rules for making it anime.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they had like classic tunes, new tunes and anime like as options, basically, that would be a 10 out of 10 game immediately.
Actually, that'd be really cool.
What's your 5? Sorry.
My 5.
Yeah, since you already see mine. Ah. Yeah.
It's so good. The D100 system is the best iteration of D100.
Mm-hmm. It's also just a great ass setting.
Oh yeah, the setting's
it's a bit
good.
challenging to run something in because of there's no classic your character's in peril thing so much, but it is just great. And like space horror is not done that often, and this does it like 10 million times better than Alien.
I could suggest to all of you out there who've seen the latest Seth video, maybe you could run your Quasimorph game in Elko 6.
That is actually it's kind of very adjacent, yeah.
It's super adjacent, in my opinion, because that's exactly what you're doing in that game, is you're slotting your personality into bodies. So, yeah.
And now we come to the hardest decision I had to make, and I think you too.
Oh, yeah.
So which 2 games between Lancer and Fabula Ultima do you put on 1 and 2?
Oh, I put Lancer second, I put Fabula Ultima first.
I am once more in agreement with you.
There's a lot of reasons. The top reason is Lancer is a good game, but it's a mech game.
Yes.
And that's it. Fabula Ultima, I think you can do even more with it. And that's enough of a difference.
Yes. Lancer is number 1 with a bullet if you like mech games.
Yeah, sure.
And if you like tactical fighting in mech games, which is a correct decision by them to put that in, because you want the tactical fighting if you're playing mechs. This does, however, kinda, sorta, a little bit make it so that the game has a shelf life.
Yeah.
Because you will have eventually played the mechs you want to play and the characters you want to play. And then what do you do in it? Well, you can hope for more mechs to come out, basically. We know Fabula Ultima has already shown that with the extra stuff they are releasing constantly, the decision space in Fabula Ultima is only growing bigger and better.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah. They have now released so fucking many good extras already for that game. Extra what you call it? Extra character classes and extra little rules here and there. Yeah. And I agree that there's a huge homebrew community, but homebrew is homebrew. We are not reviewing homebrew. It's always an important thing to say. If someone comes out with a really, really good Continuum campaign that makes sense, Continuum isn't saved by that.
No, it's not. It's for me, it's the Skyrim argument. You can't tell me Skyrim is good because modding community. That does not work for me. I will review the game based on the game's merits, not based on what 10,000 fans have done.
To be clear, it's a huge value add, of course, if you play Lancer. And that does increase the shelf life. Yes, absolutely. But the game has to stand on its own terms first, and that's what we're talking about here. Because we can't ask someone who is going to pick up this game fresh to look into the modding community, for the third-party publishing for the game they haven't played yet. It's not realistic.
Not realistic at all, no.
Have any that I want to put on?
Yeah. I'm having a hard time backfilling because it's one of those things where it's like the games that are good are good. Just that's it.
Yeah. I'm actually fine not backfilling. I don't need to mention more here. Because now here's the thing, right? This list of many new games and some older games. Oh fuck. I nearly lost my sponsorship. Oh yeah, it's true. That's also a good point. Yeah, actually we are backfilling. See, we're doing it. These are okay. Honestly, no, I'm sorry, Sharon Foy. We are talking about games that we would like. That I would say should be. The thing is, we haven't reviewed Vampire, so it can't even be. These shouldn't be on this list, but whatever the fuck. We're talking about them so much.
We're just beaming right now. It's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of memeing, yeah. Okay, we have reviewed neither of these, so they shouldn't be here. So I have not fucked up, to be clear.
Yeah.
But let's put them here for the sake of saying, okay, so you want to play other games than D&D? These are games we can personally recommend.
All of them.
They all have their caveat in one way or another. Like After the Bomb is an old-ass game tied to rifts. So you better be prepared for some jank. Sharon 4E is also old at this point, but the dice system is super solid. Vampire 5E, super good. However, the books are very, 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 like, there's a big dearth of actual like roots content in them.
Yeah, and then also they're very expensive, the books.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Expense RPG. You have to like the expense, but then it's really good.
Yeah.
Golden Sky Stories. Very, very, very good dice game. Probably also very good to get children into playing roles.
I don't see Golden Sky Stories being good for like a long campaign. I see it being good for like, I don't know, 12 weeks.
Yeah, Golden Sky Stories
18.
can be a good like backfill. I'm sure some people will go for that for a long time. I would maybe go for it more if you had like playing different characters. Same character for a long time, probably. Like boring. I feel like that's a perfect game to have like, oh, this time I'm gonna play my badger. And everyone's like, oh, I haven't seen a badge in a while. That's cool. And then, God, you would play this game forever with beavers in it, though, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, I would. Golden Sky Stories is great for ensemble cast play, actually. Yeah. Feng Shui, your action game. Like, the new edition of it is still pretty good, too.
Yeah, this encompasses both. I've read second edition. Second edition is very much in the same spirit, slightly better rules. But they include driving rules, which are nice, and so on and so forth.
One thing to mention. It is the only game where we've seen them list guns, and it actually matters.
Yep.
In every other system we've reviewed, like, they'll list a bunch of guns, but then it won't matter because they're all exactly the same.
Yeah, and to be fair, they managed that with those 3 stats in Feng Shui.
Yep. It's strong.
And they mainly do it by tying some stuff to your, like, abilities.
Yeah.
Like, it might not matter that much if you have Mac 10 or an Uzi, but if one of them is your signature gun, suddenly that matters a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love that.
Overarms, super solid game for like playing a JoJo style campaign, which asks a lot from the DM in my opinion, but if you want to go there, you go there. Amazing Engine you have to sell because it's not on my list.
All right. I will sound off on that. Amazing Engine. The number one thing about it is that you can go in, you can see exactly how you could do a thing where you're playing the same character across multiple universes and have a good time with it. It has its problems, of course, because the maths suck. But you know what? Use the system with a game that's right below it, Eclipse Phase. It's another D100 system. But all of the settings for Amazing Engine, very evocative. All of them.
Yep.
There's one exception, but that's just because it's slightly boring. That's it.
Yeah.
All of them are evocative besides that.
Yes, and since we already mentioned it, Eclipse Phase, fucking hell, it's so good. Like, good rules. Crunchy, though. Like, quite crunchy. You have to be prepared for that. Crunchy. But just the idea of, I'm going to change my body to, like, something else because we are going in space today. It's just cool.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me.
You're good.
Toon? Yeah. Would you like to
simple.
Play a simple game about being a toon and then shooting someone in the face with your shotgun so that their face becomes black? Or would you like to run 2 years of campaign for the Starship Troopers campaign in it? Like Drake did.
Yep, that's what I did.
Works for both.
It works great. Like it's just one of those things where like you can do anything you want with it with regards to let's just do a cartoon game.
Yep.
The big sell of it to me was when I first looked at it when I was a kid. As a kid I knew what this word meant, so it was like really funny that I found a game that had this word in it. Chutzpah is one of your stats.
Yeah.
Like that's the best interpretation of charisma I've ever seen in a game.
Yep. It works better because charisma is tied to different thing. Chutzpah is very open-ended. What you have.
Yes.
Like Christopher Walken does not have charisma per se. He has chutzpah.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect example of it actually. Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, you like it a lot more than I do, but we both agree that it's super solid rules. Good crunchy system. It isn't overly complicated, but it's complex.
Yep.
And you can adapt that to your own game.
Very easily, actually.
The default setting is you have to like it, which we do not. And then Lands of February, we've talked about a bunch. Yep. Those are really your go-tos. And in 2024, we are going with luck play both of them. February Ultima actually on stream, Lancer off stream, but still, we're going to play it.
Yep. Also, the big sell of those two, they're going to be there's going to be continuous support for them. Age of Sigmar also is going to have more and more books released for it. So if that's another thing, is that like you want to play a game that's still supported, those are the three right now that I can think of. I'm trying to think of like a fourth, but I can't think of one. But those are three.
Overarms, I think, is new enough that it's also supported. Expense RPG, we should mention the first edition of that is completely free to download on their website. They just put it there. And Toon is so that you can just find it.
Yeah.
It's not really no one's gonna care.
Literally nobody.
That's our bottom top stuff. And our honorable mentions in a sense as well. Oh, fuck my grandpa, fuck my fucks me. I didn't even see you put that in here. Goddamn, continue.
There's so many memes I've made, and what I should really do is organize them so that I can be quicker on the draw with them in the future. Because they're all muddled together with all my other memes.
This show should have a website or something where we can just put all of that shit together.
Oh my god! Okay.
It might be a project.
Yeah.
But I say might actually. Because I will not do it.
Well, we are at the point where this is like. How did I put it once? I don't think I put it this way. So I'll just say it this way because it's funny. But it's this point now where this feels like a real big boy podcast because of the fact that like we've done this 2 years and change. We're pretty consistent. Like there are other people who have done this that are like, I feel like doing this on a Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, go ahead and do that. That's fine.
Yep.
That's fine. I'm not criticizing you for that, but we've been consistent, and that's what's. I don't know. I just. Also, we if we have a situation where it's obvious that something is bad, we are not afraid to say it. We're not taking money from I don't know a big Cinnabar.
Yeah,
that's not going on here.
Big fucking Cinnabar. No, we will not take. Like no, I think it's maybe I have talked shit about so many games that are big that I don't think people would want to give me money anymore.
No.
But no, like. If your product is good, I'm gonna tell that to people. So the only thing I would ever accept at all is like no strings attached. Here's our product. Please review that. Hasn't happened yet, but eventually. Mini, thank you for the 2 years of chutzpah. Thank you.
2 years of chutzpah.
That's serious. So yeah. So what's coming in 2024? The first thing to mention, we already mentioned it, is that we are doing a live play of February Ultima eventually. Shadowrun, it's going to be in the start of Shadowrun. We are going to pause Shadowrun. Shadowrun is not over, but everybody in the group, or let's say there's enough people in the group, are gung-ho about playing February Ultima. So we are going to do that. It is going to be run by both Drake and me, alternating. And like playing adventures out as it makes sense. It's going to be on both of our channels, depending who DMs.
Yep.
And it is at this point going to include the crew plus Locke is back, because Locke is super hype about it. So Locke did not vibe with Shadowrun, but Locke vibes hard with Fabula, so hopefully that works out very well for us. That's gonna, I don't know. We are taking our time. We're not rushing Shadowrun to conclusion. We have two more runs that people have requested. And definitely going to do those and take my time with them and then do that. We are going to also keep you abreast of any Lancer stuff when we play that off stream. We discover about it. I need to buy the Lancer books. Apparently the books is coming on sale on Dark Horse. Oh, cool. Froggy, if you find out they are on sale, please put that on my server.
Yeah, please do.
So this is going to be like around March, I assume. Give or take. Yeah. Like, we are going to prep that in the background so that there isn't basically going to be much of a pause between them. We are not going like, oh, yeah, playing Shadowrun is concluded. Let's take 6 weeks to prepare for February Ultima. No, we are going to have it prepared, ready to go once Shadowrun concludes, which we are say around March, because we're probably going to like, in my head, each Shadowrun it takes at least 3 sessions to complete, and that leaves us around March if we start early January. That's going to happen. The shows are obviously going to continue. We have no reason to stop. The barrel of bad games is endless and there's no bottom to it.
It really is.
But we are going to do, as we said, re-reviews of stuff.
Whoops, sorry. Screwed you up there.
Can I undo that? Okay. You just put it underneath this. Oh, this is the creator of Cinema. Oh God, this guy. Can you please delete him from the document?
All right.
Reviews of lost episode content.
Yep. And to be clear on that, we're not going to do all of them. We're going to do the ones that we felt are worth doing.
We have like a list of episodes that are lost. It's an example as to what we are doing. We are doing Dragon Ball Z. We are doing Overarms. We are doing... And we're doing some more. Those 2 are guaranteed. And we're also doing some bad ones. Like we're going to dive back into stuff like Dungeon Worlds, though we don't really want to.
Yeah.
Because like we did a few ones, like let's say Fallout 2D20. I don't care to look back at that. It's fucking Fallout. It's an okay game. I do not care. So ilk. But we also did Elric, which we're not going to look back at because it's just like it doesn't matter anymore in the current year.
This doesn't, like, everybody knows about Law and Chaos. We're moving away from that, so whatever.
Yeah. Like, it is a cool concept to have, like, Law and Chaos fight and you can't go too far in one direction. But it's also, like, done. It's overdone now. These are going to happen. These are going to be interspersed with regular episodes. We don't want to do them all at once. We're going to probably start on one. Because I think that's nice. Then we can get back into the groove of things. And then just like probably do it like do one review episode of 1 or 2 games, and then do 2 new reviews, then do a review again, with the goal that the good ones that we keep referencing, like Dragon Ball Z with Chunk, if we eventually have like episodes on file for that again. And what else? What else is coming?
There's that. Neon Blood will continue also with the new year. I don't plan on stopping with that. I will possibly have guest appearances by people next year. Can be hard to coordinate, so I will figure that out as it comes. But yeah, I'm trying not to add too much more to my plate personally beyond what we've got going on, because I love what we've got going on and I don't want to negatively impact it. So
you might have an episode with your beloved mod in the future. True. This is an open invitation. If Standard ever wants to grace us with for an episode, that is very much on the table, of course.
Yeah, get in here.
Yeah. And otherwise, strong content continues next year. We are, of course, going to reserve the right to shit on D&D some more if Anniversary Edition comes out. We're probably going to have to jump on that train next year. Like, there's no way we won't.
So that's actually a really good idea. And my suggestion that I just thought of right now, right this minute, is we actually just, quote unquote, hold the presses and do a very faithful look at that when that happens.
Yeah. So since they have said about the Anniversary Edition that it's going to be compatible with 5e, I'm very curious as to what you're even buying. And that's what we want to be my main thrust in that one.
Yeah, that's the main thrust.
Keep an eye on.
Because while I'm sure some people would be like, "Oh, what cool new subclasses?" That's actually not the point. The cool new subclasses are not.
They are really emphasizing them in their. Oh God, stop with auto format. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna have any bullet points, I guess. They're emphasizing new subclasses in their marketing because that's the only thing I think they have. It might sound mean, but I think if you're not gonna do a new edition, the roots are gonna be the same. What do you have for us? What can possibly be there? Nothing.
Yeah,
that's the answer.
Exactly.
We're gonna pay $100+ for those 3 books to have nothing. Some new monsters, a better DM guide, hopefully. But for the players, what's gonna be there? 70% approval rating subclasses for the Ranger.
It already exhausts me. One thing that I did promise that I would put on the list for next year at some point is also reviewing the Witcher tabletop role-playing game.
Oh yeah,
because the well of Pondsmith is very deep.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm really getting to not to dislike Pondsmith's style so much these days that I'm starting to not be feeling very impartial about these games anymore.
Like, I'm not either. Like he has a certain voice, and that voice is less like the buddy and more like the chiding person who's like, you don't know anything.
He talks down at you the whole fucking time. He writes, yes.
Yeah. And that's a problem. I don't want that. I don't want that in this hobby.
Like, I get it. It's a style you can do, but you can't do it for every single game that you ever did. No,
you just can't.
Yeah,
and it's gotten worse. Honestly, the later products it's more prevalent. Whereas like Dragon Ball Z, he felt very earnest doing that one, where he was just like, I really want to bring this to everybody else. Love of this thing that I love.
Yes.
Which good on him for that.
Good on him indeed. So that is, I think, about it for the tabletop talk stuff, right? I mean, that's a good list.
That's a good list. Yeah. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking, "Gosh, I don't want to play D&D," well, here you go.
Yeah. Do
plenty of alternatives.
Grab one of these fine offerings.
Do any of them? Yeah. Like seriously.
And if you're saying play D&D, honestly, like Fabula Ultima, I have one friend who I have like shared this game in my real life friends because I wanted to do it with them too. And one friend was like, I don't like that. This looks so much like old Final Fantasy. I'm like, okay, fine. I guess it's not for you. But the mechanics in it, divorced from the very strong theming they picked, which they picked it correctly in my opinion, are just super solid and good. And I should give it a chance. And now that person is also in on it. So, yeah. That's your
give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a chance.
That's my big thing with a lot of stuff, actually, is it's just like, if your starting position is this one thing, cool, that's great. Why don't you still give it a shot anyway? Because the problem is that more and more with games, we don't have to sit here and be like, I'm going to play this mediocre game just because I want to spend time with my friends.
Yes.
That's great. I want to spend time with my friends too, but we could be doing something more fun with them now.
I have one more tangent I want to go on real quick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, look, Foundry looks so cool. Like all these effects on the map. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
Yeah.
The best game isn't made by having a lighting effect on your battle map. Like, a friend of mine has DM'd a game where they bought for money because of assets for Foundry. I was in, and it was basically like, okay, here's this. You feel like this weird draw towards in the desert towards like a place, and you're like, I'm gonna follow that. Come to an oasis with weird water, and it looks like it's recently like come up from the ground, and you go closer, and the water elemental attacks you, and then there's a portal into there, into like an underground thing underneath the water, but because the water is kind of fake, in there. And there's like another fight with a weird creature in a mech, golem mech, and then whatever. And they paid like $5 for the 2 maps with an effect on them. Like, don't do that. Just fucking put a picture in the background that's evocative of where people are, and don't worry about the fucking battle map. Don't do it. Don't, like, no one cares. It's in your mind anyway. Like, the more concrete the map, the less like freedom the players have.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. All these VTTs, like the D&D Beyond wants to have a VTT that's like ridiculously good.
It's going to be a disaster.
It's going to be a disaster, though. So here's the real talk, and we kind of touched on this before, but in private conversation, but in public conversation. If you are ultimately going to be in a position where, hey, I really want like the visual splendor of all the simulations and such, why not go play Baldur's Gate 3 with your friends?
Yeah.
You'll get all that then. Yeah. And then if they ever release DM tools for that, then you'll really have that.
Yeah. And to be clear, there is a subset of people who really enjoy like building their cool battle map, and I get it to an extent. Oh, yeah. If that's what you're into, by all means. But I personally, I don't care. Like, just if you describe to me that there's a ruin and we are fighting like a bad guy in the ruin, and there's minions there in the rafters of the one tower that's just standing, I can visualize that, and I can then come up with cool ways to climb the tower, and then the battle map is immediately going to be like, oh, it's a 2D thing. I didn't think you would do that. Oh. There isn't really a way up. Just like, that's why stuff that abstracts things is way better in my opinion. Like Faber Ultima is just great in that it just allows you to be like, yeah, I'm attacking the guys in the tower with my sword. How? I guess I jump up. I don't know. Okay, cool. Because it doesn't ask how. It just tells you they're allowed to do that. And I would much rather tell the story of how my character does a really cool thing to get to the guy on the tower than describe the story of how my character needs to do 3 climb checks consecutively to get up there in 3 turns, wasting the whole combat again with doing nothing or something like that, you know? Yeah, okay. Sorry,
also, Eclipse Phase 2nd Edition is very well supported. I was looking at looking around and Googling a bit while we were talking, because I realized I want to give that a fair shake too, because we keep highly rating that one.
Super good with looking at that, obviously. Yeah, let's see of what they've changed.
Oh, I just cracked open the 2nd edition. So many good changes. So many good changes.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's actually a good enough difference. So, and yeah, Waggles, you're gonna need to sometime, because like Eclipse Phase is actually really good.
Yeah.
And the 2nd edition is even better, it looks like. So, yeah, that's the reason why it's in both our top 5.
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't. It's not enough for us to say, go play this game, it's good. We also should do our due diligence and say, this is being supported, this is not being supported, this is expensive, this is not expensive. So
yes, exactly.
Because it doesn't do me any good to tell you, yeah, this steak is delicious, and then you realize, oh, it's $200. No, then the steak was really not that good. It's not accessible.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think that's a good wrap up. Honestly, is it? Do we have
Yeah,
more?
I think it's a good wrap up.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have more.
Yep.
We really did a tight ship this time. So
I mean, we don't have a book in front of us to meander around in for 3 extra hours, which is in a good way, I think. But yeah,
in a good way.
we are gonna do this shit. We're gonna do it hard. We're gonna do it good next year. You want to play Eclipse Phase as well sometime? Just never had the chance. Yeah, it is a great as I think buy-in is high in my opinion, but it's good. TableTop Talk is good. Thank you, Froggy. Yep, this show is going to return. Let me look at my calendar real quick because I forgot. On the 6th of January.
Yeah, 6th of January.
Believe on Track's channel then, and we are probably re-reviewing to start, right? Or what's the plan?
Yeah, that's our plan. Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll do our announcement and whatnot before then. So
Wait, we have not decided what we do in re-review exactly, like the order of it. So expect that to come out sometime soon.
Expect me to clean up my YouTube channel at some point and have all of my tabletop talk episodes available eventually, and then Sundred will add them to the playlist.
Yep, that's gonna be a whole thing. Yeah, we are. I'll be real with you guys. It is a fucking pain to do it on YouTube. I hate the system. It's very bad. Which is why I have roped in Sander to do it for me, but I also can't complain then if stuff takes a while. And I'm sorry, Sander, for making you do this. But this is really like, this is one of those things where I'm like, I don't have spoons for this, specifically for this, because I do this for my day job, stuff like this. So if I come home, and it is legitimately the last thing I want to do ever is like manage content there. Hi, Mort. So yeah, so you will get that sooner or later. Like the episodes are there.
Yep, I just have to unprivate them and then go from there.
Okay.
I always upload everything to YouTube privated because that way I can let it sit there for a bit and then let the automatic filter figure out, hey, should part of this be silent?
Yeah,
I make it public.
Yeah, I don't think we have that particular problem with Tabletop Talk, but yes, I know what you mean.
But YouTube be YouTube, so
it be YouTube. So true.
Yeah. Yep.
Excuse me. Let's see. You see where you're reading. That's already a 5-hour stream. I don't know how long that's gonna last. Who we got? Do you have someone I could rate?
We'll go Eldon.
Kind of thin today, honestly. Let's see here. Oh,
good job, Mod. Do you like opera? I don't like opera because it's chromium. That's curious. Like we have.
Yeah, most of the people that I'm looking at have already been streaming for a long period of time.
We could rate. Is it even? Is this even? There's no sound. Oh no. Oh, making dinner. No, sorry, then we can't. Let's see what.
Works. The guards are being summoned.
Okay, wait. If this isn't like a 10-hour, yeah, okay, yeah.
Here you go.
All right, thank you, Mikhail, because you will see why. They will very much immediately see why we're rating Chemical once we go there. Oh, it's Kate's birthday. Kate, but the thing is, Kate's was already at 5.5 hours. I'm not sure how long Kate's gonna.
I'm not sure how long either.
Oh, well, you know what? Fuck it, it's a birthday stream though. But I do wanna shout out this person then. who I was going to also rate. Because
Oh, okay.
let me just
I consider,
like,
Jim Goblin in the life,
their current look.
Same with the Forgettable
Let me just show you that real quick in our document.
Yeah, Jim
Because I was like,
my
what
best
the hell is
friend.
going on? This is
No, Jim.
this is the current look.
Jay.
Don't call me by my name, call me by my face.
Look.
Love it.
Fucking googly eyes. This is just amazing. Oh my god.
And one of their redeems is Star Trek fight music from the original series. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I've read them
instant
before.
follow.
And you're right, Mommy Kate is the birthday. So, for her birthday. So let's do that. Boom. We are back on Monday with Neon Blood. I will be on my company Xmas party, so I do not know if I can do a stream beforehand. If there will be one, it's gonna be a short one. We'll see.
Yep.
And beyond that, I have no idea at this point. Oh yeah,
Yep.
I do have one thing. On the 23rd, that is the Saturday before Christmas. Yeah, this is basically
Saturday.
today, in a week from today. You're going to do a movie night on Discord.
Yep. That's
Last
perfect time.
Last Unicorn and some other movies are going to get watched. So look forward to that.
Don't worry, nobody will be suggesting wizards, so don't worry.
you trolled us with that once. I will not be trolled again. Whether much Fritz the cat or something like that.
Oh my god, Fritz the cat. Oof. No,
Yeah.
if I did that, I would only be saying like Fire and Ice, which people universally love. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for being here, everybody. It was good show. We will see you with this show in the new year, and we will see you generally soon.
Very soon.
Yeah, bye everyone.
Bye.
And we are